gather around, shelved ones. The RAD Pack has given the community a challenge. 9 RAD movies that made you who you are, that you just had on repeat when you're young. And, well, I have my stack right here. It's a nice chunky little stack. Oh, the Eagle Eye out there just saw one of those, and you know what it is. I try not to go horror heavy, but just like producer Jamie told me, I mean, you are who you are. So yeah, it's a little heavy on the horror. So sorry about that for you folks that are, coming here to see my non-horror picks. But I do have one for you, at least. Empire Strikes Back. Love this movie. To me, it trumps the original Star Wars, or I guess what we call these days A New Hope. It trumps it. There's so much in this I love. I have a fascination, and it probably stems from this movie. I had a fascination, and still do, of like bounty hunters. One of my honorable mentions is Raising Arizona, by the way. And that had a bounty hunter in it too. But like the whole bounty hunter thing, him, Boba going, and even though back in the day, back whenever I was watching this, I was calling him Bubba Fett. I was such a stupid kid. I loved Lando. Lando, oh my god, he was so smooth, man. And yeah, he turned his back on Han, and that wasn't cool. But yeah, definitely Empire Strikes Back. If you've been at this channel at all, you're not going to be surprised by a few of these, and this one you're definitely not going to be surprised of, because actually the Horror Buddies, our very first episode, was Trick or Treat. This movie is just, it's got it all. It's got fucking heavy metal. It's got fucking horror. It's got me. The only thing it's fucking missing is like fucking like the Ultimate Warrior coming in and fucking shaking the ropes. I mean, there's no wrestling in this, but other than that, this fucking movie fucking has it, man. You got fucking Ozzy, you got fucking Gene. If you want to hear what I think of this one, just check out. Actually, don't, because that first Horror Buddies is actually pretty bad. So don't check it out. But I do know that this fucking Blu-ray is going to be obsolete really soon. And the Horror Buddies may have to do a remake whenever Synapse puts out that 4K. So, wait till that. You'll hear us talking about this. The next movie, yet again, the Horror Buddies have done an episode on this. This is a very important movie for me as a kid, making me who I am. It's the first time I ever saw a motherfucker wearing someone else's face as a fucking mask, running around with a fucking chainsaw. Yes, fuckers, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yeah, I know. You saw it earlier. You knew it was coming. I wish I had that fucking Breakfast Club VHS tape. You know what I'm talking about? I wish I fucking had it. But this goddamn Vinegar Syndrome fucking edition is fucking amazing. But that's the cover I'm talking about. Seeing this cover, when I was walking down the horror section of Rainbow Video, I was like, what is that? I need to fucking see it. I wasn't a completist, at the time. Now I kind of am now. I saw the 2. I didn't fucking care. This cover looked a lot cooler than the cover for number 1. The one from the first one, well, that was from the 70s. This was fresh. Maybe I was too young to be, renting Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, but that's okay. Alice was a neighbor, Parents let me watch horror, so it's all good. I took this home, and I fucking fell in love. I mean, this movie is one that made me who I am. I've got a real true love for vampires, and did that love come from the next movie? Maybe not. But The Lost Boys. We done a Horror Buddies on this. I've talked about it. I mean, I saw myself in this, whenever I saw the Frog Brothers. I saw fucking Sam. I saw, some comic book dorks, a dude sitting there reading a comic book at night trying to, learn about vampires and stuff. Another thing I fucking love is, like, as much as vampires is the fucking vampire hunters. So, I mean, this movie had it, man. It had it. I watched this a ton. Where I was rather young. My sister was even younger, and I made her watch it too. So, and speaking of that, the next movie, very, very important movie. Yet again, another horror movie. I was a kid. I probably shouldn't have been watching all this horror, but Night of the Demons. This movie is so fucking good. I have watched this so many times. It's up there with, like, Trick or Treat, Empire Strikes Back, as some of the fucking most watched movies. And, these movies, I've watched them a lot in my adult life as well. So it didn't just stop when I was a kid. I mean, this shit has just... It's been going on for years. But this movie, we have yet to do a Horror Buddies on this. This is a very important movie. And one day we will do one, I would imagine. I would actually like to do the series. I would like to do this one. I'd like to do 2. And I would like to cherry pop Night of the Demons 3, which I have never seen. Insane saw it years ago when she moved to Tennessee and I was still living in Alabama, and she loved it, but guess what? I didn't get to fucking see it. So one day I would like to see that. I would like to just do the series, kind of like what we did with this next movie, which is very near and dear to my heart, and that is Sleepaway Camp. I remember seeing this movie for the first time over at a sleepover. Al, I won't say last names or anything, but Al's house. We watched the Road Warriors that morning on a scaffold match, and later on, popped in a VHS of Sleepaway Camp. It was on the Brookhaven Street. I mean, I remember the fucking morning. It was fucking amazing, and I couldn't get enough of this movie. And maybe it had a lot to do with the fact that I had a crush on Angela. I don't know. Maybe not. So this next one, it's not so much a movie. It's kind of a documentary thing, musical thing. There was a time where it would not leave my VCR. I've had the opportunity to upgrade it to DVD, but listen to me. This needs to be put out in 4K. I don't know how you're gonna do it. I don't know, but this needs to be out in 4K. Fucking Kiss Exposed. They kept just so much of their fucking history. I think that's the reason I'm a pack rat. Just because I saw that. And then Chuck Biscuits. 2 fucking reasons right there. And if you've seen the Danzig home video, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because, I would just save all this shit. I didn't need a Sonny. If you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about there too. But I did need to keep just all kinds of shit for my history. This was, I knew at this moment I wanted to be a rock star too. Obviously that never happened. But this I don't know what you would call these, fucking rockumentary. I don't know what you call it, but it was definitely a fucking in heavy rotation at my house. My next movie, I mean, I had a thing for Christian Slater. I mean, you could put, a couple different Christian Slater movies in this list. Be it Pump Up the Volume, Gleam in the Cube. But, this one, you had him, You had Winona Ryder. You had fucking Brenda from fucking 90120. Shannon Doherty. Couldn't fucking think of her name. Heathers was fucking amazing. This movie, I wish I had a better edition of it. I believe Arrow has put out one. I have not upgraded to that because I don't know if it's a 4K, and I think it's a Region B. I have an all region player, but I don't know. I like the convenience of not having to hook up my region free player to just throw in to my fucking my Xbox, I guess. I don't know, but you know, this will do. One day I will fucking upgrade. If you've upgraded, chime down in the comments. Let me know that, you know, I'm making a mistake by not upgrading to that. But this movie, so fucking good. I'm sure tons of you guys have seen it. Christian Slater, definitely had a big man crush on him. This movie was this was the shit. And then the last flick of my RAD 9. If you've stuck with us this long, thank you. Be sure to check out these other videos. Check out the RAD pack. And you know, leave comments down in the thing. Let me know if you've done a video as well. I'd love to watch all of them. This is a really fun community challenge. But my last one, Insane doesn't remember me watching this a lot, which is fucking crazy because I watched this a lot. My father loved this movie. Shout actually put it out, which is fucking strange because it's definitely not horror. Eddie and the Cruisers, dude, loved rock and roll. If you've not seen Eddie and the Cruisers, I'm sure you've heard the songs off this fucking movie. This is actually the double feature. You have Eddie and the Cruisers, and you know Eddie and the Cruisers Part 2. Eddie Lives. Basically, a rock star. You know, they just recorded it, or they were recording their second album. Car runs off into a river. Bodies never found. Day after, the fucking masters vanish for the album, the second album that they, you know, are going to put out. And, you know, 20 years later, 18 years later, however many years later it was, you know, they kind of resurface. Like, one of their hit songs is being put out again, and it's even a bigger hit. And I don't know, man. This movie is fucking rock and roll, and I fucking love rock and roll. So you know, there you have it. I watched this a ton as a kid. I still don't understand why Insane doesn't remember me watching it. That's crazy. I'm gonna make her watch it at some point, and then she'll remember. Oh yeah, I remember you watching that. She definitely remembers Night of the Demons, making her watch that. And I'm sure she remembers me making her watch Lost Boys. And I'm sure she remembers me making her say I hate New Kids on the Block. And then, yeah, I made her watch Phallus in Wonderland, but that was years later. But thank you guys for watching the video, for sticking around. And as always, stay spooky.